Whoa. Well, this is certainly not night vision. We're just trying out all sorts of new things over here. You know, not unlike the Bob Ross channel. Tried all sorts of different things. Or did he? Didn't he kind of just paint? I mean, his paintings were always different, but yet similar. Similar to a Phish set list. A lot of times people think every show's different, and while it is, maybe a Phish show's more similar to a Bob Ross painting, perhaps. Well, yeah, I think that's actually a really good comparison. Like they're similar, but they're different, man. You could watch them all and experience something different. The energy. I mean, there's always happy little trees. There's always a happy little flub. All right, let's get to Arkansas and Oklahoma next on the list. And I got really obsessive about this Arkansas thing. I just found it hard to believe. I mean, I guess it was a huge deal just not that long ago that this was their first ever appearance in Arkansas, the first time ever in the Little Rock State. I know it's not the Little Rock State, but you know what I'm saying. They played at the, was it like the Walmart Center or something? I don't even remember now. But so I just kept looking over and over again, like on Phish.net, like looking, making sure. Went to the Phish Stats website, XYZZXZY, Phish Stats, you know. But yeah, of course, it was just the one and only Arkansas show. It just was hard for me to believe. And I remember it was a big deal. Went and watched my own recap, you know. Came back, they opened that show up with I Never Needed You Like This Before, a much better show than the Oklahoma show. You could almost go through the whole Oklahoma show on YouTube. Some fan videos better than others. You know, the official Phish channel uploaded the Divided Sky, Lazy Lightning coming through with Light and Harry Hood. Not a lot of jam, you know, kind of like early 90s versus early 2000s. Not a lot of jamming, except, you know, obviously the early 90s there was something going on there. There was an agenda. They're just ready to take over. You know, maybe agenda's not the right word. There was a hunger there. Just a wild spirit that was not there in the early 2000s. The one thing they did have in common, though, is not a lot of jamming. You know, maybe they need to get into the middle of the decade, even later. Although this early part, you know, 2021 certainly didn't lack any jamming. Not very much jamming in 2020, though. A little bit in Mexico. So the Oklahoma City show, I don't know if they'll ever go back. I don't know what happened that night. There was a nice review on .net. No sense in really going over that show. You know, it's been over 10 years now, and it was all said pretty much within the first week, what needed to be said. This guy he didn't want to use the term they mailed it in, but didn't seem like a very exciting show on paper. And then when you start going through some of the songs on YouTube, not that great. You know, you can check it out on the Live Phish app, obviously, if you're that desperate. You know, look, if you were a hometowner, I'm sure it was great. Look, I was lucky enough, not their first time ever in Ohio or even Dayton, but when they played Dayton in 2017, I felt extremely grateful. It was, you know, I thought those days were over. You would have thought 97 was their last trip ever into Dayton, but snuck it in there the year the Baker's Dozen. And I gotta believe at a certain point after they booked everything, they were like, the Baker's Dozen is our summer tour. I gotta believe they were like, yeah, can't we just do a little something? You know, maybe, and then they added Pittsburgh and Dayton at the last minute. Probably Northerly as well. I don't know. That might have been a part of the deal. I'm not sure. I feel like Dayton and Pittsburgh were added very last minute. Nutter Center was available. Trey was like, I know that place. I know that place well. Then they played a Peaches to boot. Llama Llama to boot. So, for the shows, I didn't even say what I'm talking about here. Not that it really matters, but the shows where Phish has only played one time, Arkansas and Oklahoma. I could not believe the Arkansas thing. Maybe I'm just hung up because they played Alabama and I've actually been to shows in Alabama. I don't know. 2 times, actually. I don't know how I did it. All right, I think that wraps it up. You know, and after this, you know, I had to make sure Idaho, in fact, had more than one show. Montana had more than one show. Utah, more than one hot show. Banger, as they're saying these days. So tough to keep up with the lingo, man. I try to stick to just like chompers and jammers, you know, geezers. Words that have stood the test of time. All right, guys, boom, we're out of here. Thanks for watching. That's it, man. I don't know. It's a nice day here, right? Shit, you see all my nose hairs? Am I too far away? Can you see my nose hairs from all the way back there? Should I just do a free fall back in the chair? I'm afraid once I fall all the way back and my legs swing up, though, you might see my balls. I'm free balling. Definitely not going to be good for anybody. Boom, we're out of here.